job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Treat your taste buds with Giant Snacks Mega Cashews. Giant's Mega Cashews are mega in health benefits, size, and flavors like bold bacon ranch, surprisingly delicious dill pickle, traditional salted, or try our newest addition to the lineup, Sweet Thai Chili Cashews. As a natural plant-based protein with 0 trans fats, Giant's Cashews are a smart snack for your body and soul. With so many nuts and seeds in so many flavors, you can't lose. Giant Snacks, the official sunflower seed of the Minnesota Twins since 2004.
No matter who you are or what you do, there's a Ford vehicle that can help you own the day. Make life on the go feel like a breeze in the new Ford Explorer. Make tough tasks look easy with the powerful performance of a new built Ford Tough F-Series truck, the best-selling trucks in America for 48 years. Or take your adventures in the great outdoors to a whole new level with our Built Wild family of Ford Broncos. Whether it's for work or play, there's a Ford with a great deal waiting for you at your local Northland Ford dealers. Don't wait, get behind the wheel of a new Ford today, based on calendar year total sales.
You're listening to the Treasure Island Baseball Network.
When Caleb Thielbar took the mound in the 7th inning Tuesday in the opening game of this series, he extended the record for the most games by a pitcher at Target Field to 188. But it was the first where he was not wearing a Twins uniform. Caleb's return is the focus of our Select Heartland Chevy storyline. After 8 seasons with the Twins and all 347 of his Major League appearances coming for his hometown team, Thielbar signed a 1-year deal with the Cubs on New Year's Eve last year. The Randolph, Minnesota native had these dates circled on the calendar for a while.
I mean, it's different, but it's nice to be back home, stay at my own house in my own bed. I mean, that's pretty cool. So overall, it's just a series I've been looking forward to all year.
Yeah, Griffin Jack's looking forward to seeing his former bullpen brother and admits he has been keeping tabs on Thielbar.
He's been making the most of his opportunity over there. I keep checking on him and see that he's really throwing the ball well. So hopefully he continues to do that.
Jax has also been in contact with Caleb throughout the season, checking in after Thielbar and his wife welcomed a baby daughter in May.
A lot of it is just, checking on her and making sure everybody's good at home. It's stuff that's more important than baseball typically. But, yeah, I wouldn't say, it's constant communication because we're both so busy on 2 different completed schedules right now. But I'd say probably once a month or so. He's a good friend.
Yeah, and while they were here, there was constant communication as Thielbar was a good resource for Jax when Griffin transitioned from starter to reliever.
He was one of the first guys, when I first got moved in the bullpen, that kind of, helped me, bridge that gap and
St. Louis Cardinals, one of the cleanest jerseys in the game. I've always felt that way. And, the birds on the bat, just an iconic logo. I mean, look how rich that yellowish gold is in the bat. All the stitching with the birds. I've just always thought it's one of the best looks in the game. 35 is the number I wore in my Major League debut. I actually think this might be the jersey from my Major League debut. So that was 2010, May 29th.
Plus, get 36 months no interest financing if qualified. Go to buildersandremodelers.com for all the details. I love the work they did for me, and so will you. Builders and Remodelers, nobody does it better.
Soak up sun, sand, and smart saving with a certificate at Royal Credit Union. Royal's 4.40% annual percentage yield 12-month certificate has guaranteed returns at maturity and no minimum opening balance for fast and easy opening. Open now at any Royal office or online at rcu.org/savesmart. Early withdrawal penalties could reduce earnings and principal. APY accurate as of 5/27/25. Insured by NCUA.
Chris Paddock is today's Twins starting pitcher.
He delivers. Swung on and missed. He threw it right by him. Polanco down on strikes. It's the 6th strikeout already for Chris Paddock here in the 3rd.
The Twins starting pitcher is brought to you by Park Chrysler Jeep in Burnsville. Stop in, shop their new showroom, or check out parkjeep.com.
Hi, this is Chris Atterbury, and you're listening to Twins Baseball Simulcast on WCCO, KMNB HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul, and KMNB FM and HD Minneapolis, St. Paul.
The following is a presentation of Treasure Island Baseball Network.
You are listening to the Minnesota Twins. The Twins have plenty of motivation as they look to get back to the top of the American League Central here in 2025.
Buxton racing after it, still racing, dives forward, and he makes the catch to preserve a 4-2 Twins win.
Get up, and gone. A Harrison Bader 2-run homer.
Swung on a miss, he struck him out, and Joe Ryan, fans 11.
3-run homer off the bat of Larnach. Stay hot.
High and deep to left. This one carried to the bullpen, and it's gone. Ty France walks off the Royals.
Today's Twins game is brought to you by Target, proud partner of the Twins. Now let's head live to the ballpark.
Well, some showers earlier today in and around the metro, in particular the West Metro, but the skies have cleared. A little bit cloudy overhead. No moisture in the forecast, and we are all set for the 3rd and final game of this series between the Twins and the Chicago Cubs. Twins with a win today could finish up their 5th sweep of the season, also moved within 1 game of 500, and hand the Cubs a 3rd straight loss. Cubs have lost 3 of 4. Their lead over the Brewers now just a game and a half in the National League Central. Former teammates Chris Paddock and Colin Ray will get together. Ray's been bitten by the home run bug of late. 4th most homers allowed in baseball since May 1st, and we'll see if the Twins can make him pay in that regard. Dan Gladden has your full starting lineups that will not include Byron Buxton for Minnesota. We've got the national anthem, and we've got first pitch from Target Field, all coming up on your home for Twins baseball.
Hey, Twins fans, this is Byron Buxton. First pitch is coming next.
Get ready to raise your mugs. Country Jam is coming back to Eau Claire July 17th, 18th, and 19th with...
What's going on? It's Bailey Zimmerman.
You're the last thing that I...
Hey, I'm Cole Swindell.
She had me. Hey.
What's up? I'm Sam Hunt.
I'll never be 23 with anyone but you.
Plus Jake Owen, Dylan Scott, Chase Rice, and more. Tickets, camping, and experiences are all on sale now at countryjamwi.com.
We all love to cheer on the Twins as they clean up on the field against their opponents. Speaking of cleaning, how about the professionals at Marsden, another Minnesota hometown team based in the Twin Cities? The cleaning program Marsden has been performing at Target Field since 2010 for staff and fans is impressive. And Marsden is also a great place to work, whether you're looking for a part-time job or a long-term career. Marsden is currently hiring for all shifts so you can find work that fits your schedule. Creating careers and making a difference. Marsden.
Hey, peanut butter.
Catcher number 21, Yainer Diaz.
I'm going to throw out a restaurant kitchen term to you, and then hit me with the baseball one. I'll start first.
Okay.
Mise en place.
Oh, mise en place. That is, as the chef, you put all your different ingredients out.
kind of before you start cooking, right?
You got it, man. That's the most important
That's a tough one. I hear this one a lot because of my name, can of corn.
Easy fly ball.
It is a 1933 Gaudy Babe Ruth card. It is 8.5 PSA. It's graded higher than the one in the Smithsonian.
This card at one point came with a pack or a stick of chewing gum.
This card actually is almost a century old. It was bought for a penny.
So the fact that just the heritage of a card like this is now coming up almost 90 years later into an auction, it's a pretty special moment.
By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets rang there, the bombs burned.
There's the bunt. That could be trouble as Petrie. No, Stevie dives in and beats it. Good effort by Steve Lyons.
And that'll be a base hit right there. Good job. I'll tell you one thing, not a bad defensive play either by the Tigers.
Did you see that? He's going to get the dirt out, and all of a sudden he unbuckled his pants and they fell down.
Cody Clemens at first base batting 7th. Batting 8th and at third base will be Royce Lewis, and Harrison Bader will bat 9th and play center field. Chris Paddock on the mound. His 19th start, he has a record of 3 wins and 7 losses. Alan Porter, crew chief, he'll be calling balls and strikes. Jim Wolf, the umpire at first base. Chris Siegel will be at second base, and Alex McKay, the umpire at third base. Get you started. Here's Chris Atterbury.
Well, a little gray, little overcast, but a nice day for baseball nonetheless. Good crowd on hand. We got some of the camp kids in their matching T-shirts, filling in the upper reaches of the ballpark. We've seen a ton of Cubs fans through the gates the last couple of days, lending to this wonderful baseball environment. They have gone home primarily unhappy, though, the last couple of nights, and Chris Paddock hoping that it stays that way. Paddock takes to the hill. He'll begin to go through his warm-up paces here. Already a pretty cool moment as part of our ceremonial first pitch. Carter Raymond threw it. Carter Raymond, an insanely talented softball player and Miss Softball in the state of Minnesota, and she plays for the powerhouse Randolph team. And so she was scheduled to throw out the ceremonial first pitch today, which is customary for Miss Baseball or for Miss Softball, Mr. Baseball. And generally it's caught by maybe Tommy Watkins, Danny. He catches a lot of ceremonial first pitches, or a different twin. But sitting down there in the Cubs dugout, a guy we heard from in our pregame lineup card, Caleb Thielbar, who is a Randolph graduate, still has so many ties to that community. And he said, no, I got this one. And he came out and caught Carter's first pitch, which I thought was a pretty cool moment there for Randolph.
Makes a lot of sense right there. Disappointing in that, though, she threw the ball overhand.
She did.
Rather than the underhand tradition, the way softball pitchers throw.
Yeah, I thought she might zip one in there at Caleb, but instead over the top, it was a strike. But kind of a neat moment before we get this one going. Paddock has made 2 starts against the Cubs. They both came a long time ago when he was a Padre. Paddock gets his first look at them in a white Twins uniform. That red Twins splashed across the front, the dark cap. Cubs wearing gray from top to tail. Cubs head to New York to take on the Yankees into the All-Star break. Following this one, the Twins stay home. And tomorrow night, the Pirates come a-calling. It'll be Joe Ryan and Paul Skeens in an all-star matchup. And if you have already made other plans for your Friday night, I would encourage you to scrap them. You can always catch up with your friends later. You can certainly get a reservation at your favorite restaurant some other day. Might be your only chance to watch Ryan and Skeens here in what should be a phenomenal pitching matchup tomorrow night.
Let's see if we get going here. The Twins have had some luck the first inning and getting some strikeouts and a quick 1-2-3 first inning. And then the Twins' first 2 games have added some runs in the bottom half. See if they keep that script going.
Ian Happ just 1 for 7 in the series, and the first pitch is taken down and in. It was a first pitch changeup, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. Finale of this 3-game series, a series sponsored by Mauer Auto, where you can get a nice deal on a nice ride. That's Mauer Nice. 1-0 in the air, center field for Bader. Bader drifting, backpedaling under it, makes the catch. And again, Danny, an efficient 2-pitch out against this aggressive Cubs team.
Yeah, they have been, you think they might mix it up a little bit in that making some easy outs and just a few pitches, and Ian Happ continues to struggle.
Kyle Tucker now the hitter. Really, you nailed it in our pregame chat with Gino. Cubs came in here hitting a ton of home runs, stealing a ton of bases. 1 homer. It came down 8-0, solo shot. And no stolen bases. So keep them in the park, keep them off the bags. That's what the Twins have done effectively, is a first pitch in to Tucker for a strike, 0-1. Tucker really grinding away in that left-handed batter's box with his back foot. He's digging it. Nice little foothold back there on the chalk line. 0-1, fouled straight back. Kind of an awkward cut. It's 0-2 on another changeup.
Well, that's been the recipe for the pitchers of the first 2 games. Chris, a lot of changeups to the left-handed hitters.
No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swung on and fouled away down the third base line. And it stays 0-2. But he is really working that foothold. Now, you were a leadoff guy, so you would always get a clean batter's box. More work to do to start a game than later in the game?
Well, you just want to get that incept in there, that your big toe, little toe hole, something to push off with.
Pitch down and in, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's the first lefty hitter. I guess the second half was in there for 2 pitches, and he has obliterated that back chalk line. 2-strike pitch, another breaking ball down and in. A curveball missing. It's 2-2.
Chris, you'd be surprised how many guys that use the same toe hold when you get in the batter's box. You usually see some guys move around a little bit, dig their own little place. More times than not, guys will climb right in that hole that Tucker's hit.
Lines this one to left center field. Bader, nearly the same spot, makes the 2-handed grab. So a couple of lineouts to center. Happ and Tucker both disposed of, and Suzuki will be the hitter. So, and like a buffalo using the same buffalo wallow to roll around in. That big old crater in there, why not take advantage? And now Suzuki will christen the right-handed batter's box. Suzuki playing in right field today. DH'd in Game 1, left field last night. 0 for 6 in the series, 4 punch-outs. Pitch on the way, and it's taken for a strike in the outside corner. There's a heater at 94. Paddock working quickly. The red glove tight to the chest. Dark arm sleeve on his left arm. The leg kick and the pitch, and this one blooped in the air, right center field. Bader's been busy. Dives for this one, can't get it. Squirts by him. Backed up nicely by Wallner. They'll hold Suzuki to a single. So Bader, a great effort, diving headlong in the gap in right center field. But it'll fall for a hit for Seiya Suzuki. Just a little flare into shallow right center, and there's a man aboard here for Pete Crow Armstrong. Pete Crow Armstrong gets a nice round of applause. Young rookie 0 for 8 in this series. Suzuki, one of the few Cubs who really doesn't run all that often. First pitch to Pete, popped away, foul down the third base line. His first pitch swing percentage is about 56%, and he has lived up to that in this series.
Well, it's been higher than that this series.
I think it's been 100%.
Yes.
No balls and a strike. Bat leaned on his shoulder, and this one popped up third base side. That's well out of play. That's generally where the Cub fans have been situated, and that will bounce amongst them. Hop all the way up to the mezzanine, where a fan reaches over and grabs a look what I found souvenir. Boy, it hit the stairs down below and took a giant kangaroo bounce into the thriving club. No balls and 2 strikes. The pitch high, and it's 1-2. Just underway, top of the first inning, afternoon baseball from Target Field. Bat laid across the shoulder, now propped up. Paddock will make him wait, holds long, and then delivers high, and the count is 2-2. Trying to disrupt that dance rhythm that you always talk about there, Danny. It looked like Pete Crow Armstrong thought he was going to come to the plate. Kind of loaded his hands up a little bit, and Paddock held.
A couple fastballs that up, trying to get him to chase the heater.
Suzuki at first, 2-2 pitch, swung on and yanked foul down the right field line. That one over near Kramarchuk bounces off the railing and down into the lower bowl, stays 2-2. Quick bat. Pete Crow Armstrong, he's out of Harvard Westlake High School. Perry Castellano's alma mater. Max Fried, Lucas Giolito, Jack Flaherty, now Pete Crow Armstrong. 2-2 pitch, swung on and popped up again. Third base side, long run for Royce Lewis. Chases into foul ground and makes the catch on the warning track. And another scoreless first inning turned in by a Twins starter against the Cubs. No runs on a 2-out single. 1 man left for Chicago, and the Twins will be... This will be the replacement.
Yeah, and I believe that Ramirez has been to that big game, 7 years or something now?
And he'll probably be there next year, too. So
yeah.
He's probably good. Jack Caglianone is on target. The Royals outfielder homered for the second straight day. Blasted a 2-run shot as the Royals beat Pittsburgh 4-3. 466 feet on that home run, the longest homer by a Royal rookie in the StatCast era. It's brought to you by Target, proud partner of the Twins. Well, here's Willie Castro. First pitch accurate. He pops one in the air to shallow left center field, and Crow Armstrong drifts underneath it and grabs it for a 1-pitch out. Colin Ray will throw a bunch of strikes. He's got literally a 7-pitch mix. Last year, he only threw his four-seamer 19% of the time. This year, he's at 45% with that pitch. Cranked it way up. He has ditched the sweeper and the cutter, so it's more four-seam slider split. 1 pitch to get Castro, and now it's Larnach who takes one high, and the count is 1-0. Speaking of All-Stars, Mr. Molitor dropping by. Haven't seen Paul in a while. He's been busy.
He's been to that game for a lot of years.
1-0 pitch taken for a strike, and the count is 1-1. Going to be a busy July for Paul as he'll be off in Cooperstown. Induction of a new class later this summer. 1-1 swung through by Larnach, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes. That's a curveball from Ray. Again, he'll throw 7 different pitches. 4-seam slider, split, sweep, curve, sinker, cutter. Essentially, he mixes and matches with his breaking ball. A 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed, and he threw it right by Larnach, and there are 2 quick outs. Brooks Lee will be the hitter. Twins have been on a nice little run here of scoring in the first inning.
Chris, how does the catcher have that many buttons on that little signal caller that they have on their shin guard?
I have no idea.
I bet you if he asks for maybe a curveball, that then he can go ahead and incorporate it any way he wants.
One thing we've seen is Lee hammers one in the air to center field. And that should do it for the inning. Crow Armstrong makes the catch. Just quickly, one thing we've seen is often it's a different mix, lefty versus righty.
Yes.
So that's probably part of the way they do it. A brisk inning for Colin Ray.
Tip of the cap, and now here we go. He gets Larry Walker, and here he is. He's going to face him right-handed. Why not? He looks like a catcher hitting. And now he's back to the left side, and a 2-out walk. So Walker reaches base after that first pitch that was like the flyby here right after the anthem.
Handle everything. Need a win? Postman delivers. Call 844-POSTMAN. Postman Law, your personal injury firm, on your side from first pitch to final inning. Offices, Minneapolis.
Michael Busch leads things off for the Cubs. He takes down and in from Paddock. 1 ball, no strikes. Busch has driven in 12 runs in his last 13 games. Another strong possibility to be added to the All-Star roster for the National League. Pops one foul down the left field line, and the count 1-1. Busch, Swanson, Kelly. Top of the second for Paddock. Kicks high and delivers, and a breaking ball misses in. 2-1. Paddock's had a nice year. One thing, if you start digging around, last handful of starts, really not going all that deep. He's become kind of a 5-inning guy as a ground ball to the right side. Brooks Lee hoovers that one up off the dirt, throws to Clemens, and Busch is retired. Paddock went 6 innings, gave up just 2 runs in a strong start against Toronto June 7th. Since then, it's a 4-inning start against Houston, gave up 9 runs. A 5-inning start against the Reds, a 5-inning start against Seattle. Just 4 2/3 in Detroit against Scuba, where he pitched fairly well, and then 5 innings, 2 runs against Tampa Bay. But again, that's after a stretch where he went 8 against Seattle, 6 against Toronto, a couple of 7-inning starts earlier this year. His first pitch to Dansby Swanson's fouled down the third base line, and the count is 0-1. Perhaps just a little bit of a lull here, Danny, for Paddock. It happens with pitchers sometimes over the course of the year.
Yeah, I think anytime, when he got stretched out, but you still look at the pitches that he's thrown. He threw 87 in 5 innings, and that's kind of where they like him to be at. Threw over 100 pitches in 8 innings at Seattle that time. He was lights out that game.
0-1 pitch. Yeah, that was a clinic he put on. Pitch wide here, 1-1.
But he went 4 innings and threw 85 pitches, so
when he's not efficient, that's leading to the shorter
he gave up 12
outings.
hits, 9 runs, 8 earned. That was at Houston.
1-1, down and away, 2-1.
I looked at his 3 wins here, 2 of them against National League teams, and he's playing a National League team here today. Got one against the Giants, 7 1/3, pitched outstanding there. Cincinnati pitched 5 innings in that ballgame.
2-1 pitch. Swanson lines this one into the gap in left center field. Should be extra bases. Finds the grass, cut off by Castro. Swanson headed for second. The throw from Willie not nearly in time, and it's a 1-out double for Dansby Swanson, his first career hit off of Chris Paddock in 6 tries. And a Cub in scoring position now for the catcher, Carson Kelly.
Well, I like the fact the Twins, getting the runs early in the first 2 games, kind of taking this Cubs crowd out of play here a little bit, but they were definitely appreciative of that 1-out double.
They were appreciative of the foul ball. They thought maybe he had a base hit into the corner. Carson Kelly's had a real productive year. Hunches out over the plate. And he watches a first pitch down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Cubs do not have a hit from a catcher in this series. Ground ball right back to Paddock. Paddock spears it. He looks to the runner at second, throws to first. And Carson Kelly is out. Nicely done by Chris Paddock. That was a PFP clinic right there from Paddock.
That was all up in his kitchen. That right off his knuckles. That's what we call, he gets back, he's got TB. We call it tired bat.
Or bees in his hands.
Wow.
Oh, we've talked about that. That's been not an accident in this series. All the pop-ups and the jam shots, effectively pitching inside. Here's Horner. Horner takes a breaking ball down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Nico, one of the top hitters for average on this club, but just 1 for 7 in the series. He's reached in 22 of his last 23 games. A quietly productive player for quite a while. They set up in, and it's pulled just foul up the third base line. Cubs fans don't like that, but Alex McKay was right on top of the play, and it's 1-1. McKay straddling that chalk line, so Danny, he could not have been in better position to call it. Nice job.
Well, I think Scouting Report's going to tell you he's kind of a hook guy. He likes to pull the ball. Even though normally guys that hit high for a high average, they do spray the ball around.
Ball and a strike to Nico Horner. Scoreless baseball, top 2, runner at second. 2 men out behind Paddock. Readies his pitch. Looks back to second base. Now the pitch. Swung on, right back up the middle. 1 hopper over the top of Brooks Lee into center field. They'll send Swanson. He will score. Horner rips one right back up the middle, and it's 1-0 Cubs. First lead of the series for the Chicago Cubs on a 2-out rip back up the gut by Nico Horner.
Well, Lee was there. He went down to get the backhand, but that hop off the dirt kind of skipped up a little bit higher. He was going down low to get it. A wicked hop.
Paddock had to duck out of the way before that big hop jumped up over Lee. The pitch inside and off the plate to young Matt Shaw. 1 ball and no strikes.
It looked like a fastball, and he was able to kind of get his hands in because it was still running in on him.
Hit it pretty solidly over 95 off the handle of the bat. And the 1-0 popped up, foul territory, first base side. It's down amongst the paying customers. It's 1-1.
There's a weak link with this Cubs club. It's probably in that third base position, and the run production just not there. Shaw just hitting a little over 200.
1-1. Swung through, and the count is 1-2. They had Isaac Paredes. They traded him in the Tucker deal. They also sent Cam Smith to Houston, who was a third baseman. Quickly became a brilliant right fielder for the Astros. And they did so because they felt like Shaw could handle it. Also were holding out hopes to maybe sign Alex Bregman. Pitch down and away, and the count is 2-2. So when Bregman chose Boston, that kind of accelerated the timeline for Shaw. So far on the year, Shaw hitting just .203 in 60 games. He's fast. He's stolen 11 bags, but still figuring things out at the plate. Short lead for Horner. And the pitch. Swung on and foul tipped, and it stays 2-2. Last year, year 1 with Craig Counsell in Chicago, a bit of a disappointment. You know, Counsell comes down the road from Milwaukee, where he literally grew up in the County Stadium clubhouse and had piloted some really good Brewers teams. Signed a huge contract, biggest ever for a manager. And then watch the Brewers behind Pat Murphy win the division. The pitch misses in, and the count full 3-2. But this year, Danny, they've added Kyle Tucker. Boy, that makes a bit of a difference, doesn't it? Pete Crow Armstrong has taken a huge leap forward, and the Cubs and Brewers figure to have quite a nice little fencing match at the top of that division down the stretch.
Well, they got a solid bullpen as well, and then getting some length out of their pitching.
3 balls and 2 strikes. Horner will be moving. 2 outs here in the second. 1-0 Cubs. There goes the runner, and the pitch is fouled straight back. Stays 3-2. Pitch count climbing here for Paddock. We talked about why is he going 5 innings. Well, this will be pitch number 37 in the second. There's a buzz in the ballpark, especially from the Cubs side of things after an early run for Chicago. Their first lead 3 days here in Minneapolis. Throw over to first base, and Horner was already on the bag. Paddock holds high. Pitch clock down under 5. Making that batter wait. Runner goes. Pitch swung on a miss. And down goes Shaw to end the inning. It's the first strikeout of the ball game for Chris Paddock, but the Cubs nabbed the first run. 1 run on 2 hits in the second. Twins.
All right, I got a couple packs of 1986 Topps baseball cards. Let's open them up and see who's in here. I love the bubble gum. Oh my. Tom Seaver, but with a White Sox uniform on. The franchise for the Mets. I played with him in 1983, my rookie season. I was just in awe with these guys when I saw them in spring training and got a chance to play with them. Baseball cards and memories.
Extraordinary connections? That's like a walk-off grand slam, Jim.
You got that right. Coordinated Business Systems. Visit coordinated.com.
You're listening to the Treasure Island Baseball Network.
Colin Ray delivers a first pitch strike on the outside corner to Ryan Jeffers. And the count is 0-1. Ray needed just 6 pitches to navigate a scoreless first. 2 one-pitch lineouts to center. Ray delivers wide here, and it's 1-1 to Ryan. Had back-to-back 3-hit games, and then yesterday scored that big first-inning run at a hit. Ended up on base 3 times again. Checks his swing. The appeal to first base. Didn't check enough, says Jim Wolf. That's a strike. It's 1-2. Between Alan Porter behind the plate, Jim Wolf at first, they may not have enough iron in these hotel gyms to keep these two guys satisfied. They don't miss a whole lot of back, arms, and shoulder days. This ball hit well in the air to right center field. Pete Crow Armstrong on the move. He won't get it, plays it off the wall, and it dies at the base of the wall, allowing Jeffers to lope into second base with a leadoff double. Team high 17th double for Ryan Jeffers. Jeffers continues his torrid ways at the plate, and the tying run is in scoring position for Matt Wallner.
I like that stroke. When you're hot, you use the whole field. Jeffers driving that ball, that was middle up.
A really nice piece of hitting. He focused early in the year on hitting the ball to right field, in particular with 2 strikes. He felt the power would come, and it's starting to show. Speaking of power, Matt Wallner watches a first pitch wide, 1 ball, no strikes. Wallner, Varland, Bush and Thielbar, a nice little photo op before the game. The 4 Minnesota players in this series. Pitch just misses, 2-0. Joking around with Caleb, who said, no, you're going to take a picture with your 3 sons, your 3 nephews. He's the father figure of the group. The 2-0 pitch. Swung on a miss, 2-1. I was chatting with Caleb, though, and one thing that he has taken from here to Chicago, maybe people didn't realize this, of all the physical fitness like testing that they do, vertical leap, explosion, power, quickness, Caleb always top of the charts in the Twins organization as a pitch wide 3-1, literally grading out as one of the top athletes in the whole chain. And once again, he got to Chicago, and guess what? He's right there at the top of the list still. Still has it. 3-1 pitch. Swung on a popped foul. It's got to play third base side. I think that's a sinker maybe that Matt would have wanted another look at. 3-2. Wallner's power can come in bunches. Hit a big home run yesterday. 9 on the year now for Wally. He came as close to hitting that Winnebago RV as anybody has this year. Runner at second, and the pitch wide, ball 4. Runners now at first and second. 2 on for Carlos Correa. Carlos is appearing in his 7th game against the Cubs, and he has at least 1 hit in every one of his previous 6. Hitting .338 over the course of his last 18 games, and again, like Jeffers, like Wallner, starting to heat up, and Twins need that. They need this heart of their order to be productive, put these long innings together. First pitch swung on a miss, a little over eager, and a slider off the plate away got him. Ryan Jeffers tying run at second. Wallner the go-ahead run at first. Correa takes a pitch just off the outside corner, and it's 1-1. You know, Alan Porter has not had a wide strike zone, Danny. So those pitches that sometimes we see Carlos chasing well off the plate, those are not going to be strikes today. 1-1, and again, Ray is looking for the outside corner and doesn't get it. Missed by about a ball's worth.
And nitpicking a little bit there, and he's going to have to bring one in here. See if let's go back to that breaking ball.
2 balls and a strike. And he comes into the zone, and it's hit back up the middle for Swanson. He flips to Horner, relay to first, in time, double play. Jeffers gets to third, but a double play up the middle as they ran one in on the hands of Carlos Correa, and he bangs into the 6-4-3.
Well, we're talking so much about their offense coming in here. You got to compliment their defense as well. And Swanson, that ball was scalded. Made a nice play. That ball came up on him a little bit, but was able to give a nice feed to Horner at second base.
Huge lead at third for Jeffers. Clemens the hitter, and the first pitch in for a strike. This is one of those spots the Twins have been so efficient at converting in this series and in this homestand. And that's the difference between winning and losing games. As a pitch fouled into the dirt, it's 0-2. With a guy at third base and 2 outs, can you figure out a way to get him home? Clemens will have to do it from an 0-2 hole. The pitch. Swung on a foul straight back. They came up and out of the zone, and Cody fought it off.
And Cody's a pretty good high ball hitter.
Told us that he's figured out how to swing with power. Unlock his bat speed and his juice. 10 home runs this year. Jeffers bluffs down the line, and the pitch is off the fist. A little blooper to second base. Horner's got it, and the inning is done. So a double and a walk against Colin Ray to start the frame, but nothing to show for it as the Twins grab their gloves and head back out to play some defense. We played 2. It's a 1.
Anytime we can put on these uniforms, the same ones that those guys played before us in the Negro Leagues. It's an honor to put it on and that's to share this field with them.
It's a piece of history, so I mean, to be able to wear it present day is honestly an unreal feeling. Once the lights are on and the anthem takes place and you're standing there on the line, it'll sink in as to what this moment really means, because I do think it's a meaningful day.
Wow! Wow, 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 wow! A snack that Freddie cannot resist.
I would have to say chips and guacamole. Organic mango, yeah.
Is that because of the strong Dominican contingent in the major leagues, bro? Has anybody ever struck out and gone crazy and smashed the cooler full of mangoes?
Nah, our team's not really into smashing each other's stuff, I guess.
Are you a seasoning guy? You like to drown your stuff in dips and sauces?
No. Gotta watch my figure.
And it looks great, brother.
I appreciate it.
Very sexy man.
Yeah,
Let's go, Freddie Freeman, ladies and gentlemen.
Resembles that team, so I mean, you know, just a clubhouse atmosphere too.
Yeah, 8 seasons as a Twin for Caleb Thielbar, first with the Cubs. 188 games here at Target Field, the most by a pitcher. Guys.
Good little note as Ian Happ leads off. First pitch, Akin pulls one foul, first base line. And the count is 0-1. The always aggressive Cubs leadoff man falls quickly behind in the count. Lined out to center in his first trip. Top of the third, 1-0 Chicago. Paddock delivers, swing and miss, and the count is 0-2. Cubs try to fend off Milwaukee in the National League Central. Twins trying to stay in that wild card mix. I believe 3 games out of the wild card to start play today, having put a nice little homestand together. There's a pitch down and in, and the count 1-2.
The goal is to get to 500, then see what happens after the All-Star break. And of course, that trade deadline, things always start cooking. A lot of talk going around.
1 2 strike pitch is taken wide, 2-2. You know, people talk about the schedule a lot. They say, hey, the Pirates are in last place, and you open with the Rockies. Then it's the first place Dodgers, then the last place Nationals. So you get 3 last place teams. I would argue the Twins have played their best baseball against better teams this year. As Happ pops one up to left. Long run in for Willie. Royce going out. Willie's ball, he makes the catch. But Danny, I feel like we've seen the Twins elevate their sharpness against teams like Tampa, against teams like Chicago.
I think that's a fair comment there that, yeah, we have seen some good ball, especially as of late. I think the last couple series have been against all contending teams.
Think of the really good series we had in Seattle. Those were highly competitive games. Some Houston games that went extra innings, went down to the wire in Houston.
Probably should have won a couple more games in Seattle.
This ball smoked to right field for Kyle Tucker. Wallner will have to peel it out of the corner. Tucker taking a big turn around first base. There's the wheels for Kyle Tucker. It's a 1-out double. There are the wheels, I should say. Again, a guy who saves his energy in between innings and pitches, but boy, he put a charge in that baseball, and he was off like a rocket out of the batter's box.
Kind of a hanging, a slow, looping, breaking ball, and Tucker was able to kind of get that one down into the corner.
So Tucker at second. Here's Suzuki. He singled back in the first. Paddock's charge, keep this a 1-0 game. Suzuki, good size. He's a healthy-sized guy in the batter's box. Extended arms, and the pitch up and in, 1 ball, no strikes. It makes sense to me just from a logical vantage point. If a guy's going to have his arms extended like that, Danny, to use velocity in under his arms. Hard to get to that pitch.
Yeah, but once he starts to deliver, he gets his hands back.
Pitch popped up. He was late. Right field. Clemens going out. Makes the catch over his shoulder at a nice one. and quickly fires a P back to the infield and Carlos Correa to keep Tucker at second base. That is a heck of a running catch by Cody Clemens.
He had a long way to go. No chance for Wallner to get there, and Clemens was aware of that. But a good pitch. It was up and in and got him jammed, didn't allow him. Those power guys want their arms extended. Most of the time they like that ball out where they can get arms out. Crowd him.
Pete Crow Armstrong now the batter, 2 out, runner at second. And he swings and hits one high in the air to deep center field for Bader. Bader backs up, base of the wall, leaps at the wall, and it's gone for Pete Crow Armstrong. A 2-run shot for Pete Crow Armstrong. Had been 0 for 9 in this series, but he blasts number 24 to straightaway center field, and it's 3-0 Cubs.
Wow. A lot of Cub fans here. They're on their feet.
They love him. He is the mayor of Wrigleyville right now. The chance of PCA. Number 24 to straightaway center field. 2 out, 2-run shot. And again, first pitch, Danny. You know he's swinging.
Yeah, and it was a fastball trying to get it in on him.
That one leaked out over the heart of the plate, and it was goodbye time. So 2 runs in, and now it's Bush. And Bush pops up the first pitch back of third. Lewis peels off, gives way to Castro. Castro's under it. Castro grabs it, and the inning is done. But not before the damage is done by Pete Crow Armstrong. His 24th home run of the season, a 2-run shot. It's 3-0 Cubs. Twins try to get the offense going when we return on your home for Twins baseball.
Twins analysis.
The Chef IQ Sense is a wireless cooking thermometer that eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat, whether on the stove, top, oven, or grill. The probe is inserted into your food and connected wirelessly to an app. Once you select your desired doneness, the app alerts you when to take the steaks off the grill or the turkey out of the oven. It's that simple. Order one now on chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com.
Now Royce Lewis will lead off against Colin Ray. Important for the Twins to answer here. Can't let the Cubs leak out too far in front. They're up 3-0 now. We're in the home third. Royce has been on a nice little run offensively. And the first pitch is off the outside corner for ball 1. Ray just keeps throwing it out there, and he's yet to get the call. He's just trying to get the Twins to reach from the right side. And they've watched him off the plate. This one foul tipped, and the count is 1-1. Well, elevate your gaming experience as a member of Treasure Island's one and only Passport Club. Join for free. Everybody's doing it, and you'll receive access to exclusive benefits, promotions, and more. Visit TICasino.com for the details. Here's the 1-1. Again, just off the plate away. And Danny, that effectiveness of that breaking ball away is predicated on occasionally you thinking that's a strike with the heater away.
The way he presents it.
2-1 came in, and it's hooked foul off the tarp down the third base line. 2-2. Working in and see if he'll go back out now to Royce.
Yeah, when you throw the breaking ball inside, there's only one way to hit it, and that is to pull it foul. And that's an easy strike for a pitcher.
2-2. Swung on, and that one's lined to third where it's gloved by Matt Shaw. He did go away, and Royce, with 2 strikes, reached for it, and he pulled that sweeper, and he pulled it right to the third baseman, Shaw, and easy out number 1. Nice little east-west game from Colin Ray. And the batter is Bader. Twins trail 3-0. Can't let the Cubs stretch this thing out. Ray delivers. And Bader takes again wide, 1 ball, no strikes. And that has been the steady diet to these right-handed hitters early in counts.
Fastballs away, trying to get the corner. Sliders away.
This pitch is upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes to Harrison Bader. Ray is 6'2", 220, 35 years of age. And he's from Iowa. There's a pitch in for a strike, and the count is 2-1. Cascade, Iowa. It's over near Dubuque in the Quad Cities. That is college ball at Indiana State.
There was a nice interaction with Ray and Paddock, both pitchers today, that teammates with the Padres.
Pitch upstairs, 3-1. Yeah, a little jersey swap.
Yeah.
Both young starters with the Padres, the whole world in front of them back then. Meeting today, 3-1, just off the outside corner, and Bader takes it for ball 4. So here we go, bottom of the order on. Castro bats. And we'll see what kind of move maybe Colin Ray has. Bader swiped a bag yesterday for the Twins. Twins have been playing an aggressive brand of baseball, paying some dividends for them. Willie bats from the left side. Switch hitter. First pitch is high, 1 ball, no strikes. Willie, on the first pitch he saw today, lined out to center field. Hitting leadoff with Buxton out after being hit on the pinky yesterday. Did see Buck before the ball game. He was in good spirits. 1-0 swung through, breaking ball. It's 1-1. Hopefully for Byron, just a rest of the hand today. Right back in action against Paul Skeens and the Pirates tomorrow in support of Joe Ryan. Bader not going. A little foul ball up the first base line. It's 1-2. 1-2. Kind of a breaking ball count maybe. Is this a spot where you maybe as Bader try to take advantage?
Well, he's trying to maybe get that fastball run away off the plate like he has been pitching a lot of the left-handers. He's thrown a splitter. He's got a piece of that, but the fastball away, if Castro tries to pull it, most likely he's going to hit into a double play.
That's what Horner's banking on, as well as Swanson up the middle. Long hold. Not running. And the pitch is hit in the air to left field, right at Ian Happ. Happ barely asked to move. He makes the catch. 2 outs for Larnach and 10 quick seconds for station ID at your home for Twins baseball.
AM 830 and 102.9 FM HD2 Minneapolis, St. Paul. The voice of Minnesota and the home of Twins baseball. News Talk 830 WCCO.
Trevor struck out swinging in the first. The only strikeout of the ball game for Colin Ray. Bader's at first base, 2 out. And Larnach takes a strike on the inside part of the plate, 0-1. Long dark sleeves for Larnach on an overcast day. Quick throw to first. Bader dives back in there with that Statue of Liberty green arm sleeve on his right arm. Third baseman Shaw is lined up at shortstop. He is well off the line at third with the lefty Larnach in the box. Trevor tried to move the line for Brooks Lee. There goes the runner. And the pitch is lashed into center field for Pete Crow Armstrong, and he grabs it for the out. Bader was moving, line drive to center, and it all adds up to the end of the inning for the Minnesota Twins. So no runs, no hits, and a man left. We've played 3. It's 3-0 Chicago on the home for Twins baseball.
Hey, it's a read like
Sometimes artifacts in the collection of the Hall of Fame could tell multiple stories. This is the earliest known Yankees baseball cap in existence. It tells a story of a very early baseball cap and of a guy who just had a cup of coffee in the big leagues. But there's actually a hidden story inside this cap. There's another name written in the cap. So who's Dolan?
lot of baseball fans have some familiarity with the T206 American Tobacco card set. Of course, features the famous Hannes Wagner card. What we have here are 3 cards from the lesser-known T205 set, which really was a successor to T206. T206 came out in 1909. These 3 cards, as part of the T205 set, came out in 1911.
Minnesota Twins baseball. For current offers and to find a dealer near you, visit ChevyDealOnline.com.
This is the Treasure Island Baseball Network.
This portion of Twins baseball brought to you by United Healthcare, your hometown health plan. Learn more at UHC.com. It's 3-0 Cubs. Trying to keep it that way. Chris Paddock telling you about it. Dan Glad.
Well, thank you, Chris. Good afternoon, everybody. First pitch from Paddock outside. Ball 1. Swanson doubled. Came around and scored on a 2-out single by Nico Horner. They led 1-0, added a 2-run homer in the third off the bat of Pete Crow Armstrong. And fouled off right side. Souvenir. 1 ball, 1 strike. That base hit by Swanson, now riding a 9-game hitting streak, and also extended a 14-game on-base streak, now to 15 games. Good player. He was a free agent. There was a lot of shortstops. I think Trevor Story was out there at the time, and he came off the board, went to Chicago. And a pitch. Tapper foul, went off speed with him and way out in front.
Carlos Correa, Trey Turner, Dansby Swanson.
He landed in a good place.
Yeah, he had some...
Struggled a little bit early, but really has kind of settled in, and he signed a nice contract. Pitch high. Evens it up 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I think he bought into the vision that they sold him for what they were trying to build there on the south side, including Craig Counsell coming to town and kind of the direction they were steering.
Yep. Swung on a miss, chased something outside. Little slide piece, good pitch there by Paddock. Second strikeout here this afternoon. Well, you look at Dansby Swanson, he's 15 home runs, at third most for Major League shortstops. Here's Carson Kelly. You didn't realize how big this guy is in the batter's box. Breaking ball in there for a strike.
Getting back to Swanson, the north side should be an easy sell, right? I mean, the tradition and the atmosphere of the fan base. The other element they had going is that Dansby's wife, Mallory.
Pitch on the corner for a strike. Now no balls and 2 strikes.
And the lead soccer player who plays for professional soccer in Chicago, as well as for the U.S. national team. So
it sounds like he is a professional.
Kind of a nice deal if you got 2 professional athletes in the family and they both play in the same city.
Yeah. And both, I don't know about her, but Swanson's a good elite player. Pitch outside.
Yeah, she's really good. Really good.
She's really good.
She's on the national team, Olympic team, all those deals. And they even have a bobblehead of the 2 of them together that they gave away at Wrigley Field.
And a 1-2. Just missed outside. Missed by much. Jeffers thought he had it. Was getting ready to throw that ball around the infield. Evens it up 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good marketing right there, isn't it?
Pretty good idea.
Do you think they would sell a Dansby Swanson bobblehead doll at the soccer game?
Probably.
Tap foul.
Why not?
Well, if they got leftovers. Or just order some. Do you think it's him in a baseball uniform and her with maybe a soccer ball?
Let's see if we can look it up. Let's see if we can find it.
I remember when the Twins first started doing it, there was people that were lined out sleeping overnight at the Metrodome to get those bobblehead dolls.
Yeah, it is indeed. He's in the batter's box in the Cubs uni, and she has got a ball on her foot.
Hit into right center field fairly well. Bader, long run. Bader tracking, and it's going to land in between him and Wallner. Both of them kind of pulled up at the last minute, looked at one another. Just well placed, no chance for Wallner, and ball was kind of slicing away from Bader, and it's going to go as a 1-out double for Carson Kelly. There's Nico Horner to bat. Let me see what it looks like. You got it?
I'll get it back up for you.
It's a good bobblehead doll.
I like it.
There's Horner. You like everything. Takes it in there for a strike with an RBI.
Positive guy, Danny.
No, I know that. But that is kind of a cool husband and wife. Two professional athletes. And that one on the outside corner for a strike. Nico's shaking his head as he steps out of the batter's box, adjusting his batting gloves. And now he's going to ask Alan Porter. He wants some timeout. I still want to flush that bad thought out of my head. Paddock at 60 pitches right now. We are in the top half of the fourth inning. 3-0 Cubs. Threatening here with a runner at second. And that was in the dirt. Nice stop there by Jeffers. Paddock has thrown 2 wild pitches. Infield pretty much straight up, standard. That Bader shading in right center field, big gap in left center. Here's 1-2. There's a line drive, base hit into right field. That's going to land in front of Wallner. And no chance to score there as Carson Kelly kind of held up, and now first and third. Good piece of hitting right there going the other way.
We're seeing the difference today that we hadn't seen in the previous days of this Cubs offense, where swing early and instead of fly ball outs, you're getting some damage done and also finding some holes.
It's going to be the number 9 hitter, Matt Shaw. We talked about his .203 batting average. Horner at first base, 16 stolen bases. So Jeffers going to come out and let the infielders know if I'm going to throw through with first and third. I'm looking more at a possible safety squeeze here with Matt Shaw in the batter's box. Short lead at first by Horner.
Lewis is back at third.
And a pitch fouled off right side.
Great catch made by a young fan. There were 3 of them up. He got the bare hand up and made the catch.
Shaw just won for his last 23. A lot of strikeouts. Pitch up and in, knocks him down. Good pitch. Well, we've seen a little bit of a trend with, for sure, Paddock in this game. And with the fastball pitching a lot of the hitters inside. And that one up there. Up and in. You know, some guys, the intimidation factor in the batter's box and on the pitcher's mound. Some hitters, you can get in their mind and kind of get them a little bit worried about coming inside. Pitch way outside. Usually they go up and in, down and away, and that was patented right there. It was a slider, wasn't presented well. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Kind of ends up wasting that stand-em-up pitch there because of the non-competitive nature of the follow-up.
Yeah, usually you double up with that pitch inside. Be careful here, 2-1. Little fly ball, center field, Bader back. See if they're going to try to tag on him. They do. Throw comes in. It's going to be cut off by Clemens. The run scores 4-0 Chicago. Shaw's 15th RBI on a sac fly RBI. He said kind of 4 runs. Paddock has given up. We saw that last time out, Paddock went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits and 2 runs. Prior to that, 4 2/3. Got roughed up at Seattle. And a swing and a miss by Happ. Happ is fighting it, one of their better players. He's just now 1 for his last 29. A lot of fly ball outs, easy fly ball outs. Paddock sets, delivers. And that one's fouled off. And when you're struggling like that, you find yourself in the hole 1-2, no balls and 2 strikes. Still got Horner at first base, 16 stolen bases. Just his lead looks very short. Count of no balls and 2 strikes, I'd be running. And a pitch. Slider down and in. And I say that because if he is thrown out, Happ in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes, gets that fresh count the following inning.
Yeah, fresh count for your leadoff guy, not a bad consolation prize.
But now he bats 1 and 2, 2 outs, 1 in. Paddock delivers. That one's popped up. Should be catch. Caught there out in left field. Easy play by Willie Castro, and Ian Happ struggles continue. The Cubs push 1 across on a couple hits. They leave 1 new score through 3.5. Cubs 4, Twins nothing. You're listening to Twins Baseball.
All siding, window, door installation labor, just $1. Visit buildersandremodelers.com.
Take a look at what we find. Looks like we've got Lauren Shahadi.
Animation is great.
We got Robert Flores, one of the stars of MLB Central with Lauren Shahadi. Then we got Mark DeRosa. Look at that. He looks like Superman, does he not? Right?
He was when he was with the Cubs.
Harold Reynolds looking ripped in a tracksuit in Studio 42. There I am. The hair's on point.
I know this guy.
Look at that jawline.
Hey, Brooks Lee will lead off for the Twins, down 4-0 here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Lee batting 3rd today. 1 for 8 in this series. Flew out to center. First time up, takes a little bender on the outside corner for a strike. Colin Ray, just 1 strikeout. He's walked 2. Twins with just 1 hit. That was a leadoff double by Jeffers. And that one missed down and away. June 5th against Washington, Colin Ray threw 5 1/3 scoreless innings without a strikeout. Tap foul in the hole, 1 and 2. The last Cubs pitcher to do that was somebody I think I faced, and that was Jamie Moyer, who went 5 1/3 with no strikeouts. Lifted foul down the left field line in the seats.
Jamie Moyer only pitched 100 years in the major leagues, so a good chance that you saw him.
I think he was one of the last players that was still pitching that in the radio booth I could say I faced him. Little tapper right back to the pitcher. Easy flip over to first base, easy out, 1 out.
How did you do against Jamie Moyer?
He was a soft throwing left-hander, wasn't in that elite pitchers category that
the guys you rate.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it. But I would say not very good. He was one of those soft throwing left-handers that more times than not you got yourself out. Here's Jeffers to bat. Double. Takes a bender on the outside corner. There's a strike.
How about 5 for 15 with a double?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'd take that.
No ribbies?
No ribbies. But
okay, how about run scored?
Didn't strike out. And didn't score.
Missed outside. Came back with that breaking ball.
Look, you can't beat yourself up for what the guys behind you in the order didn't do.
No stolen bases?
Nope.
I just stood there. 5 for 15, 1 double. There's a fly ball, shallow, center field, long run for the center fielder. That's Pete Crow Armstrong. He'll get there. 3 breaking balls, all right on the outside corner. Jeffers flies out. 2 down, bases empty for Matt Wallner. How many years did Jamie Moyer pitch?
He debuted in 86. And I want to say
he had to pitch 17 years.
At least, right? Let's get a good look at him. His reference page is really long, as you might imagine.
Pitch to Wallner is high ball 1.
86 with the Cubs, he debuted. He threw his last pitch as a Rocky in 2012. 25 years in the big leagues.
Man, that was low. 2 balls, no strikes to Matt Wallner. 2 down, bases empty.
A little bit of service time there for Jamie Moyer.
Yeah, he. How many wins did he have? Did he have 200 wins?
I believe he did. He went 269 and 209 with a 4.25 career ERA.
Wow. Curve in there for a strike. Good pitch.
I think we drafted his son, if I'm not mistaken.
We drafted a lot of ex-pros kids. I remember we had Ron Say's kid in camp. Swung on and missed. And now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Robbie Thompson's kid we drafted.
I watched Ron Say's son play a bunch of baseball in college. I think he was at Berkeley. We had Pudge Rodriguez, his son Derek, obviously.
Yes.
A couple times.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Wallner. Swung on and missed. Got him. A nice 3-up, 3-down inning for Colin Ray. Twins go quiet, 4 in the books. It's the Cubs 4, Twins nothing. You're listening to Twins Baseball.
We keep you up to date on the news and mix in some fun. The Chad Hartman Show, 12 to 3 on CCO.
Baseball season is in full swing, and just as the Minnesota Twins count on a winning team,
St. Louis Cardinals, one of the cleanest jerseys in the game. I've always felt that way. And, the birds on the bat, just an iconic logo. I mean, look how rich that yellowish gold is in the bat. All the stitching with the birds. I've just always thought it's one of the best looks in the game. 35 is the number I wore in my Major League debut. I actually think this might be the jersey from my Major League debut. So that was 2010, May 29th.
Well, this is a World Series card. Everybody said, what's it going to be to pitch against Sandy Koufax, who's a dominant pitcher? I said, I hope I don't embarrass myself. And I didn't. Pitched my first shutout ever. We won 6-0, and my parents were there. My mom was afraid of heights, so she was in the upper deck. She had to come down and trade seats with somebody so she could actually watch her 20-year-old son pitch a shutout in the World Series.
It's going to be Tucker. He's going to the All-Star game. He leads off here. Doubled his last time up. Takes a bender. Fooled on that pitch, but it drops in there for a strike. 70 pitches for Paddock. We're in the top half of the 5th inning. 4 runs, 7 hits. Twins, no runs on just 1 hit. Just missed outside. Off-speed pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Chris was talking that when we saw Tucker with Houston for the pitch clock, no batting gloves, and he said it was because he took a lot of time in between innings in playing with the dirt, the pine tar. Just took a lot of time to get his hands dry from the perspiration. And now, because of that clock, has to wear batting gloves, or chooses to wear batting gloves. Popped up. Left field. Castro been busy, but that's a routiner right there. Easy fly ball out.
Yeah, he used to grab 2 handfuls of dirt between every pitch.
Yep.
And that was his custom, and just did not have time to do that and still feel comfortable.
Yeah, I tried it in batting practice one time, and just the perspiration in between my fingers, I just couldn't get them dry, and I didn't like the feel. And it seemed like you better make good contact. There's a line drive, base hit off the bat of Suzuki. Jumped on that first pitch. Fastball. His second hit.
Gino was mentioning the name Brent Rooker there, going to be in the home run derby.
Yep.
I think he's a sneaky guy to watch in that derby, don't you think?
Isn't it? No. Wasn't it Acuna that's going to be in it?
Acuna's going to be in it.
Yeah.
Home fan.
Come on.
He'll be swinging.
Yeah, that's...
Rooker's such a thinker, though. He's going to have it all analyzed as to how he wants to.
You can think it all you want. If you're not a natural home run hitter in BP, swung and missed as Pete Crow Armstrong homer 2-run shot. Center field is 24th of the year. Gave the Cubs a 3-0 lead. Suzuki at first, 1 out. Missed outside on a changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, Buck being hit on the hand, I was worried that might not be able to kind of swing the bat, but he said he's going to be fine and most likely play tomorrow. Paddock sets and a 1-1. Ground ball, fooled on a changeup, and now 1 ball, 2 strikes. Suzuki, one of the guys that doesn't run on this team. Just 2 stolen bases in 4 attempts. Laid off a high fastball.
Now, we talk about jerseys a lot from up here. There's a row in front of us today with 3 former Cubs managers represented. Lou Piniella, Joe Madden, and David Ross all sitting near one another. It is not something you see every day.
There's 2-2 on the way. Pitch inside, arches his back, and now full count 3-2. The other, I know you love talking about jerseys. Still trying to figure out, they got Pat and Ron.
Pat and Ron, 670.
And a pitch. Foul back. And we're trying to figure out what the 670 is. I think it's, could it be combined weight? I thought initially it might have been the radio station. You said...
No, that was the old station, no, but the new station is 670. So
I'm dead on.
At Pat and Ron 670
Sure.
has a social media account here.
It's amazing that John Gordon, and you too, could probably list off the radio station's numbers of each one of our affiliates. Pitch high and away, and he walked him. Big walk right there.
I think Gordo had that down because he was invoicing all of them on a regular basis. He had a good sense of it.
You want me to go there? Okay. I'll spare you, okay? Pete Mackey out to talk to his pitcher, Paddock. And I think you know what I'm talking about. We'll let it go. Batter's going to be Bush. I told you I walked out with the Bush clan. There must have been 25, 30 of them, all wearing Bush jerseys.
Would you have Dad, Grandpa?
Yeah, I introduced myself to one of them. I said, are you Michael Bush's dad? And he said, yeah. And I think he thought I said Grandpa because it was his grandfather. Introduced myself, and he had wanted to talk about the 87-91. He went to all the games. He told me about you win the first 2, lost the next 3, came back, and he was all part of the fan base that enjoyed the 87-91 World Series. But the kid bats right now, Bush, 0 for 2. And a big swing and a miss. 2 for 9 in this series. 18 home runs, 56 driven in. 2 on, 1 out. Suzuki, the runner at second. You've got Speed and Armstrong at first. And a strike. Good pitch down in the end.
Real good pitch. Bush, pretty mature sense of the strike zone. He was in the minor leagues quite a while behind guys like Freddie Freeman in the Dodgers organization before he was finally freed up with the move to the Cubs.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 2 on, ground ball double play would be nice. And lifted foul. Chris said these guys, the Cubs, are going to head into New York and take on the Yankees. Yankees have been struggling. As Toronto finally snapped that 10-game winning streak they had.
The White Sox got him.
There's a fly ball weakly hit into center field for a base hit. Suzuki being waved around, throwing to second base. As Crow Armstrong advanced to third, 5-0. Chicago on a little soft liner.
This inning, or this outing for Paddock, starting to look a lot like that run of outings he had where he's given up 5 runs, 4 runs, 5 runs again.
Well, you make a pitch right there, and I never like it when the pitcher says or the manager says, well, you got to tip your cap to them. They're a good team over there. I made a good pitch, executed it. He just got it off the end of the bat and found some grass. Here's Swanson. He takes a slider outside. And bullpen quiet. 86 pitches. Top half of the 5th inning. 5 runs, 9 hits. Still just 1 out. Good speed at third. And here it is. Check swing. Not sure where it was. Got the plate. Must have been low on a changeup. Swanson a double and a strikeout. Bush at first, 4 stolen bases, 4 tries. There's a line drive, base hit into left field. Crow Armstrong scores. There's 6-0. Chicago.
Well, I think the Cubs today are answering the question about how they have avoided losing streaks throughout the course of the year. You suppress the offense for a couple of days, make good pitches, but eventually good players are going to get their hits.
You know, Chris, and I was looking, we talked about their offense and how many runs they've scored. They're up there in the league leaders, the stolen bases. And a lot of them is, I looked at some of their scores, they've had scores where they've blown out teams. And that kind of will inflate that. There's a ground ball, base hit left side. And they're going to hold the runner up at third base. Kind of a semi-line drive, nothing really hit hard. So base is loaded, 1 out. That is 4 hits in the inning.
They can snowball pretty quickly with this group. As you said, Suzuki hit his ball pretty hard. Bush kind of just fought one off. Swanson's was well hit. That was just a ground ball with eyes. But a walk, 4 hits after you get the first guy out, and then suddenly you're in a world of hurt.
Got the left-hander, Nosevich, warming right now and warming quickly, infield in. And that's taken in there for a strike on a bender. Horner, 2 hits, 2 singles. He's driven in 1 of the 6 runs today. 11 hits now off of Paddock. Laid off a slider outside. Paddock's most hits he's given up this year, that was at Houston in 4 innings. He gave up 12 hits, 9 runs, 8 earned. That was a career high tying 12 hits. Runs it inside, missed. 2 balls and a strike. Still looking for the ground ball double play. Line down the left field line, and that ball is foul. Paddock this inning, leaving too many balls really over the plate. That was a breaking ball that stayed up. Paddock now at 94 pitches through 110 in 8 innings. That was at Seattle. Other than that, 93, 91 top pitches. At 94 right now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball. Dive stop by Lewis. He'll cut up, come to home. Nice play there. Forces out the runner at home. Lewis dived to his left on the grass and then quickly came up. Only could get the one out at home. Good decision there by Royce Lewis.
That's a really nice play, Danny. That's not a play that a guy has an opportunity to execute very often. But to dive, to get on his feet and have that great awareness of where the play was and make an accurate throw, that's a nice play.
You know, those are the things that as an infielder, you go through your checklist. I always say you've got a checklist. Dive to my left, dive to my right. I got to get up, get the out here. And a check swing, it didn't matter. That was a strike call to the number 9 hitter, Matt Shaw. Sac fly RBI his last time up. One for his last 23. 2 in here in the top of the 5th. And lifted foul. In the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Paddock trying to finish off the Cubs here in the top half of the 5th inning. This will be his 98th pitch. Popped up right side. Brooks Lee out, Clemens out. It's going to be Lee calling and catching, and the damage is done. 2 runs on 4 hits. They leave him loaded. New score. It is the Cubs 6, Twins nothing. Hey, you're listening to Twins Baseball.
When you're not listening to Twins Baseball, I want you to be listening to me. Henry Lake of the Lake Show, weeknights, 6 to 9, on The Good Neighbor.
Hi, this is Danny Gladden, and Mesh, Besher, and Spence remind you that this copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins. Mesh, Besher, and Spence fights for all injured Minnesotans, whether you're hurt on the job in a car accident or suffered a personal injury. They'll get you the compensation you deserve. Call Mesh, Besher, and Spence, the personal injury lawyers Minnesotans trust.
Win big while giving back. Support local bars and charities across Minnesota and North Dakota with Pilot Games.
You can play a variety of exciting E-Tab and bingo games, including Twins Win and Twins Game Day Bingo. Play Game Day Bingo daily from 12 to 10 p.m. at your favorite local bar.
Pilot is the region's largest charitable gaming provider. So when you play Pilot Games, your team wins too.
Find a location near you and join the fun. Follow us on social media at Pilot Games MN.
This season, if a Twins player hits the Winnebago parked inside Target Field on the fly, you can win an RV or boat of your choice. Winnebago Industries presents Hit It to Win It. Enter for your chance to win at hititToWinIt.com. Limited to 1 8 per person. Must be 18 years or older to enter. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hey fans, you've probably had some memorable moments at Target Field. Well, now's your chance to post other Minnesota moments you've had on a new website. Visit NorthStarStoryMap.org to explore the collection of stories, share your Minnesota moment, and put a star on the map today. Maybe it was a fall visit to Split Rock Lighthouse, a Christmas play at the Guthrie, or catching a 24-inch walleye at a cabin up north. We'd love to hear from you. This North Star Story Map program has been financed in part with funds provided by the state of Minnesota from the Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund.
You're listening to the Treasure Island Baseball Network.
That'd be Carlos Correa, Clemens, and Lewis. First pitch swinging, line drive caught by Horner at second base. Twice now, Carlos Correa has stung the baseball. But good play by Horner right there, having to leap up to his left and kind of snow-coned it. So 1 pitch, 1 out. Here's Cody Clemens, popped up to second base. His only at bat, getting to start at first. Takes it in there for a strike. 6-0, and you've got a veteran in Colin Ray. He knows how to fill up the strike zone now with a 6-0 lead. Hit high in the air, right field, tough play, long run. Looking to look up, and gone. Twins are on the board with a Clemens home run. His 11th of the year.
Well, as you said, Colin Ray's going to fill up the strike zone. Cody Clemens knows that. So after taking a four-seam fastball, he gets a splitter that's just left up enough got the arms extended. He told us he's learned how to hit with power, Danny. That's a pretty swing.
Well, he's just getting opportunities to play, and that was, like you said, a splitter. A little bit of a changeup, no depth to it, just some slow spin, and Clemens put a nice swing on it. There's a start. Here's Lewis to bat. Line drive off the glove of the pitcher, going to be fielded by the first baseman. He'll throw to first, and it's not in time. Pitcher deflected it towards second base. Bush, the first baseman, got it and fielded it, threw it to Ray covering first base, but he got there, and it looked like he had to double stab with his foot to get to the bag, and by then Royce Lewis sniffed out that base hit. Watching Lewis run, big sign right there, and hustling down the line, goes a base hit. Here's Bader to bat. Bader walked his only at bat. These are tough at bats when you're down 6-0 and now 6-1. And I'm just getting my second at bat, and we're in the bottom of the 5th inning.
But you know what, Danny? You grind it out a little bit here. You get a couple of guys on, scratch a few more across, and suddenly you're within punching distance.
You know, Bader's got 11, a 2-run homer right now. Be a nice swing. Pitch outside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bader in center field here this afternoon. Byron, a day off. Hit by a pitch last night. Broken bat, ground ball, first base. And it's going to hit the foot of Bader. The bat in 2 pieces right now. Wow. The handle is at home plate. There's 2 pieces at the shortstop position.
It's split right down the middle lengthways.
And Bader, he was looking for the ball, and it hit off his leg and rolled down the first baseline. He took off running, thinking might be in play. That bat didn't come into 2 pieces till it actually hit at the shortstop position. So Bader back in the box. Bats with a count of 1-2. Lewis at first. Little jam shot behind short going to be there is Swanson, and he kind of corrals that one easily. And now 2 down, top of the order, Willie Castro. He broke my bat, and that was my gamer. And then I get a new piece of wood, and he comes right back, gets all up there in my knuckles. Willie Castro 0 for 2, fly out to center, fly out to left. And swung on a foul tipped.
Danny, when a guy is running the ball in on you like that and you know it, how do you adjust to that as a hitter?
Well, you can open up a little bit and get ready for it. Move off the plate. And therefore, it's you're just talking about a couple of inches. Because it's getting in on my label by just a couple of inches. But it's got to be a subtle adjustment so the catcher doesn't recognize that. The pitcher looking in doesn't see a different look. That missed outside. More times than not, the pitcher, catcher, they'll just stay with their game plan as to what we want to throw you. And as soon as you open up or move off the plate, look inside, they'll get you on the outside corner. Swung and a miss. Healthy cut there by Castro. He was going for the downs on that. Two down, Lewis, the runner at first. 1 in here in the bottom of the 5th. Little pop-up behind third. Shortstop Swanson out. Swanson will dive for it and come up with a nice play there by Dansby Swanson. Twins get on the board on a Cody Clemens home run. New score after 5. It is the
Selection, Savings, and Service, the triple play from Minnesota's Jeep store, Park Chrysler Jeep in Burnsville.
It started as a one-time thing. Just the crew, a cool...
A snack that Freddie cannot resist.
I would have to say chips and guacamole. Organic mango, yeah.
Is that because of the strong Dominican contingent in the major leagues, bro? Has anybody ever struck out and gone crazy and smashed the cooler full of mangoes?
Nah, our team's not really into smashing each other's stuff, I guess.
Are you a seasoning guy? You like to drown your stuff in dips and sauces?
No. Gotta watch my figure.
And it looks great, brother.
I appreciate it.
Very sexy man.
Yeah,
Let's go, Freddie Freeman, ladies and gentlemen.
Paddock's afternoon is done. He's going to go 5 innings. He'll give way to Anthony Masevich, left-hander. Originally drafted by the Seattle Mariners out of Michigan State. Some big league time. And the Twins system, and just you remember him in spring training? He was an invitee in spring training. He's been with the Yankees. He was with St. Paul this year. And a swing and a miss. Ian Happ, switch hitter, turn around and bat right-handed. 0 for 3 today. He is just 1 for 10 in this series and just 1 for his last 30. And the pitcher delivers, missed outside. 26 ball games with AAA. Had 8 saves down there, 31 innings, 29 strikeouts, 10 walks. And a swing and a miss on a changeup. Boy, Ian Happ can't wait to get out of here. He's going to go away thinking that the Twins pitchers, nothing but changeups. Ain't nobody hard throwers. Diet of changeups. And that one kicks away.
Watch him go to New York, Danny, and hit like 4 homers in the next 3 days.
He's hit a couple balls that might have been out at Yankee Stadium, but you're struggling a little bit. The only way you're going to get out of it is you swing out of it. 2-2. Swung on a miss, staying with him.
Well, Masevich was a Yankee the last couple of years, just 4 total outings there. He has now 132 total career appearances, 66 of which came in one season. That was 2021 in Seattle. Seattle, Royals, Arizona, Detroit, the Yankees. Kind of been an elevator guy back and forth between AAA and the big leagues.
I'd say he might have a few suitcases and different equipment bags. Here's Tucker to bat. 1 for 3. Pulls this one foul down the right field line. Hey, experience the magic of Barbie Game Day at Target Field. It's happening Sunday. The exclusive ticket package going to include a ticket to the ball game, also a Twins Barbie Game Day jersey. Get your jersey at ticket at twins.com/Barbie. Here's 0-1. Missed down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tucker, good player, free agent at the end of the year. A lot of teams calling on him. Line down the right field line, that's going to go foul into the netting.
Remember, he was hurt in Houston, and he kept not playing, and the Astros was like, no, he's going to be fine. And he's like, I think I have a bigger problem. And that propped up again yesterday when another Astro came back and re-injured himself right away, and there's a lot of questions going on about kind of who's getting cleared to play and when coming off injuries in Houston.
Swung on a miss. Nice job there on a bender. Good breaking ball. Savage picks up strikeout number 2. And here is Suzuki. 2 down, bases empty. I was looking at the Chicago Cubs, one of the best home records in baseball in 30-16. I was wondering that, the Cubs play quite a few day games. Pitches high ball 1. And I thought, today's a day game. Might be used to playing in the day. They're 22-19 in day games. Hit down the left field line. That's going to go well foul, though. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Now, when you were going to Wrigley, it was pre-lights, right?
It was all day games.
Yeah.
And played a lot of day games. Saw a lot of sunrises. Great city. Still one of my favorite cities. And a 1-2 outside. 2 balls and a strike.
And for a long time, that was well known around the league. You'd come to Chicago, play a day game. Guys would enjoy a great city, and then maybe you'd be a step slow the next day game.
Yeah, it wouldn't be so much. It would be when you would leave and go to the next city. When it would catch up to you. 3 balls and 1 strike to Suzuki. I remember Jack Morris and I were doing some radio games together, and we had a day off in Chicago. I said, hey, get your shoes on.
That was a legendary day off.
Get your shoes on. We started at about 8:30 in the morning. Lifted high in the air, left center field, hit well. Bader back now in front of the warning track, reaches up and puts it away. 3 up, 3 down. Cubs go quietly. It'll be Larnach lead. Jeffers down 6-1. You're listening to Twins Baseball.
Twins analysis and insight every weekday morning with me, Vanita, at 8:40 on WCCO Radio.
Grown-ups, aren't Sundays more fun without... Can I have screen time? Can I have a snack? I don't want to go to Grandma's. It smells funny. And I'm bored. Bored is impossible on Kids Day at Target Field. The gate 30 for lawn is turned into Bullseye's backyard. Kids' meals are half off. Kids 12 and under can run the bases after the game. And Grandma's invited too. Enjoy your weekend wind-up with Sunday Kids Days, presented by Target. Join in at twins.com/tickets.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? Hey, that's the spirit. Right now, we're celebrating free with a free STP oil filter when you buy 5 quarts of oil and free Duralast brake pads when you buy 2 rotors. Like always, free battery testing, charging, and recycling at every store. Celebrate free at AutoZone, now through July 28th. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Every day, people all over the state complete what seems like a simple task. Pull into the nearest gas station, fill up with regular unleaded, and go about their day. But there's a better way to fill up. Unleaded 88 gives your engine a boost while burning cleaner and helping reduce greenhouse gas emissions. On top of that, it costs less than regular unleaded. Look for the yellow 88 button the next time you fuel up and select Unleaded 88. Better for your air, your engine, and your wallet.
Innovative is the hometown supplier of restroom and office essentials for the Twins. In partnership with Uniball, we're proud to sponsor the Double Plays program, donating $100 to the 463 Foundation every time the Twins turn 2. As workplace needs evolve, count on Innovative. Learn more at innovativeos.com.
This is the Treasure Island Baseball Network.
Trevor Larnach in the box to lead off the bottom half of the 6th inning. First pitch. Colin Ray drops in there for a strike. Ray has been outstanding. Giving up 3 hits, one of them a home run. Cody Clemens, his 11th of the year. And right back, and that one missed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brooks Lee due up next, and then Ryan Jeffers. Larnach 0 for 2, 0 for 5 in the series. Tap foul off his foot. Hey, this series versus the Cubs, it is sponsored by Mauer Auto. We're going the extra mile isn't some flashy upgrade. It comes standard with every visit. That's Mauer Nice. Larnach playing his 87th ball game. And takes this one low, ball 1. Had it the other night. Larnach leads the club. He had 80 hits
Byron leads in homers, 20, 53 RBIs. Jeffers, now with 17 doubles, leads the club in that category. Little ground ball, routine hopper to the first baseman Bush. He underhand flip to Colin Ray covering. There's out number 1. Here's Brooks Lee, 0 for 2.
Still in just the 6th inning. Even if you can put one more on the board here, you're in arm's reach against the Cubs once that bullpen door opens up.
Pitch outside and low ball 1. Well, pitch count by Colin Ray is at 70. And he's a guy that the Cubs really haven't asked to go too often deep in the ball game. That one missed inside.
He's sure giving them what they needed today, though. Working in and out. Looks hittable, but proves not to be.
Longest outing this year, 6 innings. Popped up. That's going to be a souvenir left field line. 108 pitches, the most he's gone, but he's anywhere between a 90 and 80 pitches, 5 1/3. Got a win in that ball game. Gave up 5 hits, no runs. Kind of up and down some games. Seattle touched him for 11 hits, 7 runs. And that's popped up. Might be playable catcher. Kelly near their dugout and leans in. Nope. On top of the dugout.
Great effort. And he was going into his own dugout, which made it easier to kind of half leap up over the rail.
We call that false hustle.
A little eye wash?
That was false hustle. It looks good.
It looked really good. He sold it.
Yeah, but the ball was on top of their dugout past the netting. But hey.
He sold it well.
Mm-hmm.
And his teammates didn't drop him.
Brooks Lee, last minute, calls timeout. Jeffers due up next. Well, looking forward to the All-Star game, especially the Home Run Derby. And a check swing, see if he went, and yep, he went around. So there's a strikeout, just his 3rd punch-out here this afternoon. But I was talking to you, the guys throwing out the first ball, Chipper Jones, Andrew Jones, Andres Galarraga. Pretty good right there.
Pretty good. The big cat joining the Jones boys.
And we mentioned Brooke Rooker now in the home run contest, but also they're going to honor, of course, Hank Aaron. A slider missed outside to Jeffers. Fly out to center and a double. Having a good series. He is 5 for 8.
Were you ever in a home run derby?
Minor leagues. Swung on and missed.
How'd you do?
We did it with the visiting team that would come in, and you'd have 4 guys from each team. And
was that like a regular occurrence or
no,
a special occasion?
No, kind of a special occasion. It was kind of a giveaway. We used to have in Shreveport, we'd have a beer garden down the right field line. It was quarter beer night. All the college kids would come out. Boy, that would get out of hand.
Oh, boy.
And especially with the Dodgers. But we would throw that. Pitch missed outside. 2 balls and a strike.
Paul Molitor told the tale of his brief time in the Midwest League where Bob Feller would travel around and pitch in the home run derbies to the 2 teams.
Check swing, he went around on it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. As a kid, I used to watch it in the off season.
The TV show?
Yeah, Harmon Killebrew. It was on a TV show. They would be somewhere in L.A.
And you could see the rooftops of the houses in center field.
Yes.
That was a great show.
Willie Mays was in it.
Yep.
Harmon Killebrew was in it.
Mickey Mantle was on that.
Missed outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes. But doing it in the offseason, I think the guys were in very good shape. Ground ball, weakly hit second base. Gobbled up by Horner, and he's going to retire Jeffers and Colin Ray. Another 3 up, 3 down inning. 6-1 Cubs. You're listening to Twins Baseball.
Your teammates might be sweating through the dog days of summer, Libra, but you're feeling positively recharged by the long days spent together on the field. Instead of trudging through practice, you can boost team morale by organizing bonding activities that will result in everyone having fun. You're serious about your game, but you know it's all about balance so that you stay winning.
And he swings and hits one high in the air to deep center field for Bader. Bader backs up, base of the wall, leaps at the wall, and it's gone for Pete Crow Armstrong. A two-run shot for Pete Crow Armstrong. Had been 0 for 9 in this series, but he blasts number 24 to straightaway center field, and it's 3-0 Cubs.
Yeah, Chicago added one more in the fourth, 2 in the fifth for a 6-0 lead. Cody Clemens' homer got the Twins on the board. A lot of work to do if the Twins are going to get their 5th sweep of the season, Danny.
Hey, don't forget this portion of Twins Baseball brought to you by your select Heartland Chevy dealers. I'd like you to log on to ChevyDealOnline.com. Find that dealer near you. Take you the rest of the way. Here's Chris.
All right, thank you very much. And here is Pete Crow Armstrong, who we just heard, facing Misevich. Misevich, a nice quick 1-2-3 inning. First inning of the year. It has a big leaguer, and the pitch fouled away by Crow Armstrong, again swinging that first pitch. And it's 0-1. Last couple of years, Misevich with the Yankees, 4 total games over those 2 seasons. Pitched at Michigan State. And this ball hit high in the air for Crow Armstrong to right field. Wallner turns and watches, and it's gone. Another home run for Pete Crow Armstrong, number 25. And it's 7-1 Cubs. So he's 2 for 3, couple of homers. He's scored 3 and driven in 3. Have a day. Making up for the last 2 games in one day. All these tools on display for Pete Crow Armstrong. Good young player, exciting young player, just 23 years of age. Here's Michael Busch. Busch fouls one off his hands, and the count is 0-1.
Yeah, that was a hanging breaking ball, and he hung in there pretty good.
$7-1 lead now for Chicago. Misevich working to Busch, and a ground ball fair. Flagged by Clemens behind the bag. Cody takes it himself, and there's one away.
You know what? If I am Deshaun Kersey Jr. in the Twins dugout right now, I'm watching that kid every at bat.
Pete Crow Armstrong.
Yes, I've got to watch him. Similar type body types. Well, I got to even talk to him.
So what change did you make that unlocked all of this offensive ability? Swanson's had a good day, takes low, 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah,
Pete Crow Armstrong didn't have this sort of a power profile last year.
Did not. You know, Chris, but it's not so much always listening to my hitting coach and learn something. I can learn something from an opposing player.
1-0 is fouled away, and the count 1-1. That would seem to be a ton of value in finding a guy who biomechanically looks like you, plays with similar skill set.
How many times do we see guys go to the All-Star game and they come back and they talk to a guy in the bullpen? And I think it was Joe Nathan talked to Mariano Rivera about, show me your grip, and was willing to kind of share it with him.
A 1-1 is low in the count 2-1. Glenn Perkins was at Mariano's last All-Star game in New York and he said it was like a PhD seminar in the bullpen with all of the other All-Stars gathered around Rivera, asking questions as he displayed some different things about pitching. 2-1 is wide, 3-1. Savage trying to find the zone here to the righty Swanson, who's 2 for 3. Twins have been out hit 12-3 today. We've seen the power from the Cubs, the depth of this lineup on display. Savage offers and a little foul ball, and the count full 3-2. Who were the guys you played against that you felt had similar games where you could take something from?
Visiting players?
Yeah, were there other players that you played against that you looked at and said, hey,
well, our era, we didn't talk to the opposing players, right?
So you're saying do it now, but you didn't do it then because it was frowned upon.
It was.
Yeah.
I mean, when the guys come out and stretch 20 minutes before the game and they jog out and they get behind second base, it was taboo.
Yeah, you wouldn't
if you were seen talking to another player getting loose out there, you'd get reprimanded.
Yeah, no fraternizing at all. As the 3-2 fouled off the end of the bat. When you would play, say, winter ball, and you're teamed up with guys from other organizations, was that a chance maybe to learn some things?
Yeah, you could, but a lot of the guys in winter ball were also American players.
3 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out here in the 7th, and a ground ball foul. Swanson hanging in there. Stays 3-2.
I'm trying to think. We had some Brewer players, and Randy Reddy was somebody that comes to mind, and Sid Bream was a first baseman, left-handed hitter though. But Bill Schroeder, I didn't want to talk to him because he only hit 200.
No thanks, Rock. I got it. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Dansby Swanson. Savage in his Twins debut delivers, and a swing and miss. He struck him out. Boy, that ball had such a nasty tail to it, down and in a cutter, that Jefferson ended up snow coning that thing. But it's a strikeout from Savage's 3rd, and they were 2 away for Carson Kelly.
Hey, let's head on down to the farm with that minor league update. How about St. Paul right-hander Corey Lewis threw 4 hitless innings in relief last night, punching out 7. The Saints went on to win a comeback fashion, 5-3 over Iowa Cubs. Thanks, Carson McCuster. He's go-ahead 3-run homer in the 8th.
From one Carson to another, Carson Kelly is a strike called, and the count is 0-1. Big gap in left center field for Kelly. Kelly has 2 hits today. Double and a single. Takes wide, and it's 1-1. Another changeup from Misevich. The Cubs looking to claim this finale, go to New York, finish off the first half. Twins will stay home for Pittsburgh. A 1-1 popped up. Right field, Walner drifts underneath it. Matty looks up into the sky, makes the catch, and the inning is over. Solo home run for Pete Crow Armstrong. And that's all the Cubs will get here in the top half of the 7th. They lead it 7-1. We stretch on your home for Twins baseball.
The newfangled idea of the time was night games, and teams thought that the shiny material of satin would reflect the stadium lights better. But satin comes with all kinds of issues. Despite all its drawbacks, this shiny material really does create a show-stopping jersey.
A lot of baseball fans have some familiarity with the T206 American Tobacco card set. Of course, features the famous Hannes Wagner card. What we have here are 3 cards from the lesser-known T205 set, which really was a successor to T206. T206 came out in 1909. These 3 cards, as part of the T205 set, came out in 1911.
TICasino.com. Hailstorm and Lindsey Sterling live.
You're listening to the Treasure Island Baseball Network.
Out of the 7th, 7-1 in favor of the Cubs, trying to salvage one in this 3-game series. A series sponsored by Mauer Auto, where you can get a nice deal and a nice ride. That's Mauer Nice. Matt Wallner homered yesterday, a walk and a strikeout today. Twins had the solo home run in the 5th from Clemens. That's their only run. So Wallner taps this one to the right side of the diamond. Horner takes it at the letters, throws to first, 1 out. The real opportunity, Danny, to me came in the 2nd. Twins had given up a 2-out RBI single to Horner in the top of the 2nd. It was a 1-0 Cubs lead. Jeffers answered with a double. Wallner walked. So you're sitting there with first and second, nobody out for Correa, Clemens, Lewis, Carlos into a double play. That was really a backbreaker.
Yeah, but, he's hit the ball hard twice, had nothing to show for it. And Swanson, the shortstop, made a real nice play.
And now Correa a chance to swing again as he takes a strike 0-1. And that's where he hits the ball hard.
Yeah.
And instead of tying the game, you end up killing the inning. And the Twins really haven't threatened Ray since, aside from the solo homer. Ball low, 1-1.
I find it odd that I think it was a couple of years ago that Correa led the league with 30
double plays.
Double plays that he hit into.
1-1 is taken for a strike outside corner. What's he had, 11
And for such a
year?
good player, how does that happen?
Well, I remember that year he had the foot issues, right? He wasn't running really well. And I know that was a factor in it, as the 1-2 is low and it's 2-2. But when you start looking at the guys who are the all-time leaders in hitting into double plays, they're all really good hitters.
Aren't they?
They're all really good hitters. I'll have John get the list pulled up, the all-time leaders, as the 2-2 is checked at inside.
Foul ball.
Oh, my. Foul tipped it into the glove. Carlos tried to sell it, but Alan Porter said he fouled it off, and that's a strikeout for Carlos Correa. Colin Ray continues to put on a clinic of how to pitch east-west with these guys. In, out, in, out.
He got the good slider away, show you the fastball right there, came in on him, and kind of presented it well. Had good late movement on it.
Here's Clemens, solo home run. And he takes a pitch for a strike, 0-1. Yeah, the Twins list alone, top 3 in double plays. Harmon Killebrew, Kirby Puckett, and Joe Mauer. 3 guys who are in Cooperstown. It's a strike called, and the count is 0-2. I remember being at the Nook with Joe, and the famous Cretan alums have a burger named after him, and his was the double play burger. He didn't like that. And they said it was because it was for him and Jake. He didn't like the fact that it was the double play burger. Foul ball down the right field line. And the count 0-2.
That was Mauer?
Yeah. He was like, what, really? All the things you could have called it? And we're going with this? And they were like, well, but it's for the 2 of you. And he's like, no thanks. Foul ball again. And the count's still 0-2. Tough, your own school's give you the business on that. No balls and 2 strikes to Clemens. And he swings and misses, and down he goes. And Ray is through 7 really strong innings here this afternoon. As Ray gets a swinging miss from Cody and puts the clamps on the bottom of the 7th. We're back for the 8th next. It's all Cubs, 7-1. This is your home for Twins Baseball.
We talk with Twins players, coaches, and analysts every weekday morning. Join me, Vanita, on WCCO Radio.
Former Twins closer Glenn Perkins here, and I gotta tell you, nothing's better than playing for your hometown team. I got to do what I love and make Minnesotans happy in the process. Kind of like my buddy Jeff Belzer. He may not have a fastball, but no one can get Minnesotans a great deal on a great ride better than Jeff Belzer Chevrolet. It's why he's Minnesota's #1 retail sales volume dealer since 2013. Plus, he's always giving back to our community. Find your next great ride today at JeffBelzerChevy.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
When the Twins win, you win at Papa John's. The day after a Twins win, get 50% off pizzas online or on the app when you use the promo code TWINSWIN. That's 50% off pizzas at regular menu price online. Valid online only at participating Minnesota stores. Not valid with other discounts, special crusts, or limited time offers.
July 21st through the 27th, the 3M Open returns to TPC Twin Cities for golf's Northern Swing. The most fun you can have on a golf course. Watch big PGA Tour stars or take in the food and fun at Fan Village. Or do both. Tickets for the 3M Open are available now, including passes to the Stilly Party Deck experience. The spot for music, games, food, and all you can drink Stilly. Great golf and a great time. The 3M Open, golf's Northern Swing. Purchase tickets today at 3mopen.com. That's the number 3, the letter M, open.com.
Minnesota baseball deserves Minnesota beer. Prize Brewing. Born in Minneapolis, brewed for Twins territory, and crafted to deliver the quality and consistency fans love. Pick up Prize beer today at your local liquor store, enjoy it cold at Target Field, or visit our spacious patio right on the Mississippi, a short walk from the ballpark. Prize Brewing Company. That's Pryes. Minnesota's trusted craft beer and proud partner of your Minnesota Twins. Find your prize.
Justin Topa on the pitch here in the top of the 8th. He'll face 8, 9, and 1. Horner, Shaw, and Happ for the Cubs. And the Buck Truck is coming to Target Field Saturday, July 12th. First 10,000 fans through the gates. A Byron Buxton bobblehead complete with a truck horn sound. Presented by Pentair. For tickets, visit twins.com/tickets. Horner bangs one on the ground to short, picked up by Correa. And Correa throws him out. One out for Justin Topa on a single pitch. Yeah, so be here Saturday for that Buck Truck bobblehead giveaway. Unlike the Joe Ryan bobblehead last night, not a special package. It's going to be a giveaway at the gate, so get here early.
That's tomorrow.
That is 2 days from now, Saturday.
What about the matchup we got tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow, that's
Joe Ryan's on the mound.
You don't need to offer up a gift to get fans to want to watch that one. Joe Ryan versus Paul Skeens.
The gift is those pitchers.
Exactly. 1 ball, no strikes to Matt Shaw, and Shaw hits one foul up the third base line. It's 1-1. Yeah, and for so many years, starting pitchers really drove the game. And if you lived in a market with a team, not every game was on TV, you would hear about a matchup and say, "Oh man, Koufax is in town. He's pitching. Oh, is Tom Seaver pitching? Is
Johan Santana?
Yeah, Johan Santana." That drove attendance as a pitch pulled foul down the third base line, 1-2.
Well, I think winning streaks also in contending teams and playoff-bound teams.
Well, certainly they're always going to be popular, but just the outlier of seeing a starting pitcher because you knew you were going to see him for 7-8 innings.
Yeah, but on the flip side of that, you look at the Colorado Rockies.
Yeah, they sell out anyway. They sold out against the White Sox twice. How about
Explain that.
I'll explain it.
They're up there in the leaders in attendance.
Beautiful ballpark. Great atmosphere. There's a swing and miss by Shaw. He's out on strikes. It was a fireworks night, and you wanted to see the mountains in the background. That I can't explain. Well, the Cubs did it for years, right? Without being good.
The Padres, they're good, but they draw.
That's a great atmosphere. That's like just a party.
No, Colorado's a party.
Atlanta draws every night. Philly's always full. Pitch to Happ, pulled sharply to first, knocked down by Clemens, can't find it, does, throws to Topa, touches first, and he gets him, and Ian Happ is packing his bags. He's like, really? I smoked that ball off the glove of Cody Clemens, and they still make the play. Happ, good player, but he is having a rough go of it at Target Field. 3-1 the putout. Nice inning.
Coronamos joseando manito, trabajando no hablando, desde afuera todo se ve bonito, cuando estamos facturando. Pásale, pásale, pásale rol, pásale, pásale, pásale rol, pásale, pásale, pásale rol, pásale rol, pásale rol.
business. Your select Heartland Chevy dealers, proud sponsors of Minnesota Twins baseball. For current offers and to find a dealer near you, visit ChevyDealOnline.com.
You're listening to the Treasure Island Baseball Network.
Well, Brad Keller is going to throw the bottom of the 8th inning. Brad Keller, former Kansas City Royals starter. He's 3-1 with a 2.88, 38 appearances, over 40 innings this year, 40 2/3. 38 punch-outs for Keller. Used to feature that hard sinker ball when he was fronting the Royals rotation. He faces Royce Lewis, and the first pitch is hard pitch inside off the plate. It pushes Royce back, and the count is 1-0. 97 on the heater from Keller. Keller offers a breaking ball, and Royce swings and fouls, and the count 1-1. (7-1) in favor of the Chicago Cubs. And Keller's pitch, big overhand breaking pitch high. 2 balls and a strike to Royce Lewis. Love to see Royce again get that power stroke going. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Swung on a miss. Boy, chased a nasty breaking ball. Looked like a strike until the very last moment, and then it had different ideas. Ended up well off the plate. Crazy horizontal movement there for Keller. Here's the 2-2. Another breaking ball. Stayed on it. Lined it to right center field. Nice piece of hitting for Royce Lewis, who has a base hit. Hey, Danny, that's a nice job of adjusting to the pitch there by Royce and ending up winning the at-bat.
Not enough breaking balls there, and he left that one out just a little bit, and it's just kind of where you hit it.
Bader's turn. Twins down 7-1. We're in the 8th.
I remember Keller. He was with Kansas City, and he was a starter.
Yeah, ground ball machine at the time. Big-bodied right-hander. Foul ball straight back on a full rip from Harrison Bader, 0-1.
Never really had a winning record. He was a 14-game loser twice. Came here, now out of the bullpen, he comes right over the top.
Stands tall and delivers, and he delivers down. And the count is 1-1. We were talking about double plays, and the Twins all-time leaders. We looked up the all-time leaders. You have to get to number 10 all-time before you find a guy who's not in the Hall of Fame. Because the swing and miss is 1 and 2. Pujols, Miguel Cabrera, Ripken, then Pudge Rodriguez, Hank Aaron, Yastrzemski.
Those guys all
Murray,
played
Rice.
20-plus years.
That's a big part of it. The shortest career in there was Jim Rice, playing 16 seasons. Pitch wide on the count 2-2. So what we're saying is, if you want to be an all-time great and hit into double plays, you've got to be an all-time great. And full stop. Otherwise, you don't last 20 years.
Was Puck on that list?
No, he wasn't in the top 10 for all-time. Swing and miss by Bader. He's down on strikes.
But he's on the top 5 in Twins.
He is, yeah. He's second to Killian. Here's Willie Castro, 0 for 3, filling Buck's sizable spikes in the leadoff spot today with Byron out. Hoping to see Byron tomorrow, and hoping to see you tomorrow. Looking ahead with Hoffman Weber. One of the best pitching matchups of the year. Joe Ryan against Paul Skeens and the Pirates. First pitch at 7:10. As Castro takes wide, 1-0. We're on the air at 6:30. 7:10 line. First pitch, again, it's Ryan versus Skeens. Couple of All-Stars. Look to Hoffman Weber Construction for all your roofing, siding, and window needs in the Metro and the Brainerd Lakes area. Pitch high. 2-0. Royce at first base. Castro slices this one down the third base line. Pushing, foul. 2-1. I know you were asking about Colorado and the fans that they draw.
Attendance, yep.
Yeah, and it's up there.
Well, let me tell you, here's teams that have an average of 30,000 or more.
Okay. 2-1 high.
You've got the Arizona Diamondbacks, Atlanta Braves, Red Sox, Cubs, Rockies, Angels, Dodgers, Mets, Yankees, Phillies, and you had mentioned them, Padres, Giants, and Mariners at 28,000 average.
Pitch high to Castro, ball 4, and there'll be 2 aboard for Larnick. Well, we saw how fun that ballpark was in Seattle when we were there that weekend. It was packed every day.
Yeah.
And you also just listed the entire National League West, by the way. Every team in the National League West.
Here's the teams, the fewest. You got the Athletics averaging about, and I don't understand how 19.
That can't be their average unless that includes road games as a pitch wide and the count is 1-0 because they don't fit 19 in their park.
White Sox. I've got them at 23, and I could be reading this wrong. 23? They average 23?
No chance.
How about they average 16?
I think that's combined for home.
They average 16. The A's average 9. White Sox 16. Reds 24.
Marlins are going to be around
11,000 for the Marlins. And 18 for the Pirates. 9 for the Tampa Bay Rays, but they only hold 10,000. Yeah. And Minnesota averaging 21,000.
A bit above that all 3 games of this series as Larnick waits for the 1-0 and he swings and misses in the count 1-1. 2 on for Trevor. Would love a little jolt here. Twins trailing 7-1. Give us something to build on moving forward into the 9th inning and on into their date with the Bucks tomorrow. Swinging miss. It's 1-2.
Changeup 93.
That's a changeup off the plate, then slider and a changeup back to back at 88 and 93. Similar spots, totally different movement profiles. One zigging, one zagging. Two on for Larnick. And the pitch. Swung and a missed, and down he goes. Trevor fighting it a bit here today as he leaves a couple out there and he stares back out at the mound, a little frustrated with that plate appearance. And here's Brooks Lee. Brooks has been fighting it a bit after a scorching hot month of June. 0 for 3 in this one. Keller, big burly righty, and this ball is looped towards Horner at second base. He'll back up and make the catch, and the inning is done. Tried to drop one into shallow right field, but Horner was equal to the task. Twins strand a pair, and he scoreless 8. 7-1 Cubs, 9th inning next. On your home for Twins baseball.
When you're not listening to...
Guess who that is? Roger McDowell.
Check him out. He has his uniform on upside down with the shoes on the hand, and it looks like he's walking on his hands. Has his cap hanging down. That's supposed to be his head. Well, the Mets really trying to turn it around. They do, however, trail in this ball game 4-0. I love that.
Say less. However you do game day, we're here for it at Target and Target.com.
Mesh Besher & Spence has called Minnesota home for over 60 years. We know our state's legal system inside and out and know how to get you full and fair compensation. Mesh Besher & Spence, Minnesota personal injury lawyers, Minnesotans trust. Go to meshbesher.com.
You're listening to the Treasure Island Baseball Network.
Tucker, Seiya Suzuki, Pete Crow, Armstrong. These are your Cubs trio here in the 9th inning. Before the first pitch can be thrown by Justin Topa, Ryan Jeffers wants to walk out and chat with him. Everyone kind of looking around Looking out to center, Harrison Bader's tying his shoe. Maybe that was the holdup. And now Bader's ready to go. Twins down big. We are in the top of the 9th inning. Twins, this is their 10th ball game this year in which they were vying for a sweep. They were 4-5 in those games entering play today. There's the pitch from Topa, and it's popped up high in the air, left field. Castro drifts underneath it. Turns to the side and makes the catch, and there's one down. Suzuki will bat. He is 2 for 4 in the ball game. Cubs have sprayed 12 hits around the ballpark. Pete Crow Armstrong's hit a couple in the seats. All Cubs here on the final day of this series. And their legion of fans who have filled Target Field will finally be able to walk out of here smiling as a pitch wide 1-0. I thought we were going to get out of here without hearing Go Cubs Go, but we're probably going to hear a group rendition of that before we pull the curtain on this series as a swing and miss and the count 1-1. Written by the legendary Steve Goodman, who also penned such hits as The City of New Orleans. Grew up a huge Cub fan. A 1-1 pitch. A little broken bat looper over the head of Lee and into shallow right field for a base hit. That kind of day for the Chicago Cubs. That was a little cutter, and you could hear the bat crinkle. And it ends up just dying in the grass, out of Lee's grasp. No chance for Bader. Third hit for Suzuki, and he's aboard for the man of the hour, Pete Crow Armstrong. 2 for 3 with a couple of home runs. 25 home runs now, 5 multi-homer games. And the pitch on the way, swung on and bounced back up the middle, and Lee will never get it. That's a ground ball base hit. Suzuki stutters around second. He goes to third. Wallner falls in right, trying to throw the ball back to the infield. And Pete Crow Armstrong ends up with a double. Pardon me, that's Bader who fell. It was Bader who had cut in front of Wallner, and when he stood up and tried to throw the ball, his legs went out from under him. Crow was hustling all the way. It's a double for Pete Crow Armstrong. Just a ground ball back through the middle. And they're on at second and third. So we got to see his power, Danny, and here we get to see his speed. He doubles off the hearth in front of home plate.
He reminds me a little bit of a Lenny Dykstra. You know, but high energy guy. That's what speed does.
He is a fun player to watch.
He is.
And just scratching the surface. As a strike called on Michael Bush, and the count is 0-1. Still just 23 years of age. First round pick out of high school. Yeah, look back. When he debuted, he played 13 games in 2023. Didn't get a hit. He went 0 for 14. As a strike called, and it's 0-2. Everybody believed in his defense. Last year, hit .237, OPS well under league average at .670. Only 10 homers, 13 doubles. This year, 21 doubles, 25 homers. He's already over 70 runs batted in. There's a pitch fouled away, 0-2, and that is a massive step forward offensively between his first full season and his second. And credit to him for making the changes, put in the work.
And part of the reason the Cubs are in the position they're in is because of him.
No question about that. Line drive back up the middle. Diving stop by Correa on his feet. Throws to first. Pushes out for the second out of the inning. And a wonderful play by Carlos Correa will get Suzuki home with the 8th Cubs run as Crow Armstrong goes to third. That could have been a 2-run base hit for Bush. Instead, it's an RBI groundout. And there are 2 away for Dansby Swanson. Some kind of range shown there by Carlos. That ball was hit hard. Batter Swanson fouls the first Topa offering back, and it's 0-1. He has 2 hits today. So you got 3 hits for Suzuki, 3 hits for Crow Armstrong, 2 for Swanson, 2 for Kelly, 2 for Horner. Been a hit parade today for the Cubs as Swanson lifts this one high in the air to left center field. Castro, Bader converge. It's going to be Bader making the catch, and he dances just out of the way of Willie Castro, who peeled off at the very last instant. Boy, nearly a demolition derby in left center field. A run on a couple of hits. Cubs lead one, leave one. They're up big. It's 8-1. Throws a really good four-seam fastball, a slider, and a split finger. He's become the closer for this Cubs team. Throws about 100 miles an hour with his four-seam. And he is on to pitch the ninth inning. Hasn't worked all series. So Daniel Palencia, the right-hander, delivers a first pitch, and it's a slider at 85 for a strike to Jeffers. The count 0-1. Great find by the Cubs. Great job by their pitching group. He was with Oakland originally. Acquired him in a deal for Andrew Chafin, the other Sheriff. There's a pitch wide here, and the count is 1-1. And Palencia, again, not a real big guy, but boy, does he throw hard.
There's more than one Sheriff?
Remember, we were in Detroit, and Andrew Chafin's nickname was the Sheriff, and Chris Paddock's nickname was the Sheriff. And something's got to give at some point. There's a pitch in for a strike, and it's 1-2.
Well, I think the lesser pitcher's got to take the title of deputy or something.
Oh, yeah, you
can't be two sheriffs.
You got it done. You can't have two sheriffs. It's all sorts of jurisdiction issues at that point. 1-2 strikes. Palencia delivers. And this ball is hit well in the air to right field. Suzuki going back on it, reaches up and makes the catch. Just in front of the old Quick Trip sign. Ryan Jeffers lines out to right. And here's Matt Wallner. Power on power in this at bat. Palencia stocky. You know, they list him at 160. Often the weights you'll find listed are when they sign. He is not 160 now. He's strongly built, thick through the chest and shoulders. Stands off the first base side of the rubber and delivers. And the pitch sails high at 101 miles an hour. It's 1-0. That gets you on in a hurry, Danny, and it comes out of there fairly easily. Not a guy who jumps down the mound at you or anything like that. It's a swinging miss. Another heater, and the count is 1-1.
We have a tendency of those high-velocity guys throwing 100 miles an hour. I want to swing my bat 100 miles an hour.
Which Wallner kind of does anyway. As the 1-1 swung through, took something off that time, a splitter. And it's 1-2. Now, unlike Duran's splitter, which is in the high 90s, that splitter's at like 87. Essentially a changeup. Been a really good Cubs bullpen. Palencia, a big part of it. 1-2 strikes to Wallner, a long hold and a pitch, and it swung through, and down goes Wallner. Strikeout for Palencia, and he got him with that split. And 2 outs, and now Deshaun Kersey Jr. will dig in for Carlos Correa's spot in the order. Correa's 6-game hitting streak against the Cubs has come to a close. He was 0 for 3 today. And DK will have it at bat. Again, stands in left side of the box. Bat held high, about 45-degree angle tilt, little waggle to it. And the first pitch is towards the front shoulder. It missed in, 1 ball, no strikes. Twins trail 8-1. Bottom of the ninth, 2 out. And Kersey swings and misses. It's 1-1. Cubs on to New York. Twins will have an evening at home, and then the Pirates for 3. Tomorrow night, Joe Ryan, Paul Skeens. Here come the Cub fans. A 1-1 swung through. Twins down to their final strike. There will be a W flying over the Coomer estate today. It's the tradition at Wrigley Field, fly a W for a Cubs win. You see it around the cities occasionally. There's a swinging miss by Kersey. He swings through 101.4, and the ball game is over. Back-to-back strikeouts for Palencia, throwing gas here in the bottom of the ninth inning. All Cubs today here at Target Field. They avoid the sweep. They beat the Twins by the final score of 8-1. Twins still take the series, and they will now be 45-48 as they head into a 3-game set with the Pirates to finish off the nominal first half of the season and head into the All-Star break. They'll need a sweep of the Buccos to finish this first half with a 500 record. The Twins, that was a Clemens home run on 4 hits, no errors, 5 runners left on base.
I want to ask you about food. What is something that you have to eat to be the judge?
Oh, Aaron Judge! Send him to Monument Park now!
We got some good chefs in New York. They've been cooking up some nice chopped cheeses, and that kind of, it gets you, I don't know if I should tell the kids that they should be eating chopped cheese before a game.
Before the game, probably steak. That's usually what I go to.
I like a steak, no vegetables.
No vegetables?
No vegetables.
No, is it straight protein?
Yeah.
On a Cy Young, 73, 5, and 6, I've got an extra 5. And then it says, has worked as a TV commentator. You know, and I did start back in 1978. I did the Yankees and the Red Sox playing the 1-game playoff. And ABC said if the Yankees win, Reggie will play, and then you'll go broadcast with Howard Cosell and Keith Jackson. And that's how I started my broadcast. And that's the Bucky Dent home run. So every time I see Bucky Dent, I go, thank you for making me a broadcaster.
Be your classroom for a day. Learning Through Baseball tours are a unique educational experience for pre-K to high school students. Visit twins.com/ballpark/tours to learn more and book your Learning Through Baseball tour.
Avoid the sweep. Cubs still now only swept one time this season, and that was in a 2-game series to begin this year out in the Tokyo Dome, and that was at the hands of the defending World Series champion Dodgers. Welcome, everyone, to the Affinity Plus Federal Credit Union postgame download. Mark Janowski in our studios with Dan Gladden. Danny, I want to go back to the turning point of this game, which to me is completely in the bottom of the second and the top of the third inning. After giving up a run in the top of the second inning, Twins put the first 2 guys on, and we see an opportunity for him to answer quickly, right? You're thinking, okay, here's your chance. They've shown that a little bit during this series to bounce back right away after letting the other team dent the scoreboard. And unfortunately, Carlos Correa grounds into a double play, and then the Twins end up leaving Jeffers at third base. And I'm going through that at bat with Correa in the bottom of the